Dear members of PALCUS, dear friends, in these challenging times for us all, I wish that you and your loved ones are all well and safe. My first words are to thank PALCUS for inviting me to close the second edition of what I see as our national conference, and to congratulate its leadership for deciding to go ahead with it against all odds and under such difficult circumstances. I believe that the diversity of the issues addressed in the different panels, the quality of the contribution from speakers, moderators, and the audience, the high levels of attendance that you've just mentioned clearly show that holding this event was a timely and fully justified decision. But in my view, the unquestionable success of the conference lies also in the importance of the messages and the indications that it provided. Allow me to highlight some of them. First and foremost, the second edition of the National Conference was, like the first one in 2018, during the month of Portugal, and as the month of Portugal itself, or initiatives such as the Make Portuguese Count, another clear example of the advantages of working together for a common purpose, bringing together PALCUS, the Foreign Ministry, the Diplomatic and Consular Network in the United States, including AICEP and the Coordination for the Portuguese Language and Programs, FLAD, and the Portugal-US Chamber of Commerce. But it was also an illustration of the growing assertiveness of a community committed to playing its role as a fundamental actor for the promotion of an ever closer relationship between Portugal and the United States in all dimensions, including in the field of trade and investment. A community that finds its strength and increasing self-confidence also in its determination to address crucial topics for its future, such as the attraction of younger generations to its activities and initiatives, and the use of new tools, including technological means, to convey its message and make its voice heard loud and clear, both in Portugal and in the United States. A community that shows its readiness to be an agent for change of mentalities and attitudes concerning some of the issues that are crucial for shaping a better and more harmonious future, such as the empowerment of women. A community, last but not least, that acknowledges the importance of culture, including in its more contemporary manifestations, as a key feature in affirming its identity, as shown with the Meet the Artist sessions and the setting up of the first virtual gallery of Portuguese-American artists. In short, a community better prepared to respond to the calls and challenges of the time to come. Dear friends, the pandemic imposed serious constraints upon us all, at personal but also at a professional level, in all sectors of life. For us all, there is a time before and after the pandemic. However, acknowledging it should never be a reason or a justification for paralysis, but a first step to adjust and prepare the future. This applies to the relations between Portugal and the United States, but also to the life of our clubs and associations and the work of our diplomatic and consular network in the United States. The relationship between Portugal and the United States is a cornerstone of Portugal's external policy, no matter the government in Lisbon or the administration in DC. It has always been like that. It will continue to be so. Until the pandemic took us all by surprise, The political dialogue between the two countries was fluid. Contacts between our civil societies had never been as intense. In just 4 years, the number of Americans visiting Portugal increased at an unparalleled rate, going up from around 300,000 a year to more than 1 million. Trade and investment was flourishing between both sides of the Atlantic, the United States having become Portugal's most relevant trade partner outside the European Union. Our main objective should be to build upon this extraordinary momentum and create the conditions for a quick resuming of that trend. For that, like any other country, we count on our people, our companies, our institutions. However, as the National Conference also eloquently showed, unlike many, we can also count on an extraordinary asset, a community, our community, increasingly present and influential in the social, economic, political, cultural, and scientific fabric of this great nation. Portugal has many reasons to thank you every day for your unfailing commitment and invaluable contribution, so often with immense personal sacrifice, to the fostering of a stronger relation with the United States in all areas, including in the economic, trade, and investment fields, as well as to the promotion of our culture, language, and values in this country. You are a compelling evidence that forgetting one's roots will always make one feel incomplete. You are ultimately the reason why it makes so much sense to talk about the United States as our neighbor across the pond. But take my gratitude as a humble appeal as well. The future of the relations between Portugal and the United States, our continuing efforts to make sure that what we have to offer as a modern country and society is better known, that our language, the fifth most spoken in the world, is even more available, despite all recent successes, such as the extraordinary positive assessment of the American councils of the new exams in Portuguese, and the ever-increasing network of agreements between the Camões Institute and American states and institutions, such as the one just recently announced with the state of Utah, a reflection of the increasing demand for Portuguese in this country. For all that, in all that, your irreplaceable role has been and will continue to be absolutely crucial. The National Conference left no doubts about your determination to play that role and to do it in the most effective way possible, acknowledging, for that matter, as I said in the beginning, that joining forces and working together are always better recipes for success. Recognizing, as beautifully said by late Anne Buchanan, Executive Director of CIC Venture Cafe, in her remarks at the Miami Tech Boom panel, recalling the words of John Kennedy, that a rising tide lifts all boats. That also implies a diplomatic and consular network that is ever more ready to partner with you and better equipped to respond to your legitimate expectations. Fulfilling that task is our tireless daily objective, which has to go, obviously, hand in hand with the need to ensure the safety of staff and guests, in particular through the respect of the rules on social distancing. I wish to thank also on behalf of my colleagues in our consulates, There's so many of you who have been showing us their understanding and support. We take it as an incentive to try and do every day even more, to serve every day even better. Therefore, we value the constructive advice coming again from so many of you, in particular from the members of the Council of the Communities and of the consultative councils, where PALCUS is largely represented. Dear friends, next year, Portugal will once again be chairing the Council of the European Union. It is an opportunity not to be missed to increase our visibility in the United States. Notwithstanding the constraints due to the pandemic, the Embassy is preparing, together with the consulates, an ambitious program of initiatives. In addition to the four main priority areas of the Portuguese presidency, being the European Ecological Pact, the social agenda, the digital transition, and external relations, we intend to address another topic: the importance of the role of European diasporas in the United States for the promotion of the EU integration process, as well as of relations between the European Union and the United States. We will dedicate a webinar to it, with the participation of representatives from the most relevant European diasporas in the United States. And I want to take advantage of this opportunity to invite you, Angela, to participate on behalf of PALCUS. 2021 will also be an election year in Portugal. Our country will be called to decide on who will be our president for the next 5 years. For a long time, our communities around the world claimed the right to be part to that choice. This will be a very good occasion to prove such claim was justified by participating in big numbers and voting. My appeal also applies to the upcoming elections in this country. Participating is the way to show that you count, and also to reward those who truly make Portuguese count. Dear friends, 2022 is just around the corner. As from today, it's time to start preparing the third national conference. I'm sure it will be just as successful as this one, on the path opened by what seemed to many at the time an impossible task, an impossible dream: the memorable first national convention in DC. Well, I would say it's about time to realize that impossible has no Portuguese roots. Keep healthy and safe, and thank you very much.